There is something quietly happening inside American banks right now that very few people are talking about. Every day, retirees across the country are walking into their local bank branch, sitting down to pay bills, or logging into their savings accounts, only to discover something shocking. Their money has been frozen, not stolen, not lost, simply frozen, locked and temporarily out of reach. What makes this situation even more alarming is that in many cases, there was no warning at all. No letter in the mail, no phone call, no email notification, just a declined transaction, a debit card that suddenly stops working, or an account balance that appears unavailable when it previously held tens of thousands of dollars. And for many seniors, it comes as a complete surprise. The information you're about to hear could help protect thousands, even tens of thousands of dollars that belong to you or someone you care about. Banks in the United States have the legal authority to freeze accounts under a variety of circumstances. Some of those situations are understandable and necessary. Others can occur with little notice, leaving older adults unable to access their own money for days, weeks, or even months. Unfortunately, most retirees never learn how these freezes happen until they're dealing with one themselves. By the end of this video, you'll understand when banks can legally freeze your money after age 65, the most common reasons it happens, and the practical steps you can take right now to protect yourself and your family from a potentially devastating financial disruption. So if you, your spouse, a parent, or another loved one is over 65 and has money in a bank account, stay with me until the end. This information could help safeguard a lifetime of hard-earned savings. Welcome to Retirement Watch, where we explain Social Security, Medicare, taxes, retirement planning, and financial rules in clear, straightforward language so you can make informed decisions with confidence. I'm Robert Hale. If videos like this help you feel more prepared and financially secure, please subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. Here's why this topic matters. Banks are not required to warn customers before every account freeze. Their primary responsibility is to comply with regulations, reduce risk, and follow legal procedures. Whether an account freeze creates hardship or not, the bank's process continues. The person left dealing with the consequences is often the account holder. Bills may go unpaid. Prescription medications may be delayed. Family members can find themselves scrambling for answers during an already stressful time. Our goal on this channel is to help retirees understand these risks before they become emergencies and provide practical tools to avoid them whenever possible. The retirees who prepare in advance are usually the ones who protect their savings and maintain access to their money. Those who don't often find themselves calling the bank in a panic, searching for answers after the problem has already begun. So be sure to subscribe, turn on the notification bell, and let's walk through the most common reasons banks can freeze your money after age 65, and more importantly, how you can protect yourself. Reason number 1. The death of a spouse. This is one of the most common and unexpected reasons seniors lose access to money, and it often catches families completely off guard. When a spouse passes away, banks are frequently required to place restrictions on certain accounts while ownership and legal authority are verified. This can affect individual accounts held solely by the deceased, and in some situations, even joint accounts. To release or transfer funds, banks may require documents such as a certified death certificate, court paperwork, beneficiary documentation, or proof of legal authority from the person handling the estate. These procedures are designed to protect assets, prevent fraud, and ensure funds are distributed correctly. However, while the verification process is underway, surviving spouses can face serious challenges. They may be unable to pay household bills, cover funeral expenses, refill medications, or access money needed for everyday living expenses. Some freezes last only a few days. Others can continue for several weeks. In cases involving probate or estate disputes, access to funds may be delayed for months. One common misconception is that a joint account automatically guarantees uninterrupted access for the surviving spouse. While joint ownership often provides important protections, the rules can vary depending on state law, account structure, and the policies of the financial institution. Accounts owned solely by the deceased spouse, such as certain retirement accounts, IRAs, or 401ks, typically require additional documentation before assets can be transferred or accessed. The best protection begins long before an emergency occurs. Make sure both spouses know where important financial records are kept. Maintain a secure list of bank accounts, investment accounts, insurance policies, and other financial assets. Review beneficiary designations regularly to ensure they are current and accurately reflect your wishes. For eligible accounts, consider adding transfer on death (TOD) or payable on death (PAD) designations, which can allow assets to pass directly to named beneficiaries without going through probate. It may also be worth speaking with an estate planning attorney to determine whether a revocable living trust or other planning tools could help simplify asset transfers and reduce the risk of delays for your family. Taking these steps now can make a difficult time much easier for the people you care about most. In just a moment, we'll discuss another surprising reason bank accounts get frozen, one that often catches retirees completely off guard, because it can happen during an ordinary banking transaction. Reason number 2. Large or unusual transactions. Many seniors are surprised to learn that banks are legally required to monitor accounts for unusual activity and report certain transactions to government agencies. The phrase unusual activity sounds alarming, but it doesn't necessarily mean criminal behavior. In many cases, it simply refers to transactions that fall outside your normal financial patterns. Imagine a retiree who has used the same checking account for decades and rarely withdraws more than a few $100s at a time. Then one day they decide to withdraw $15,000 to help an adult child purchase a vehicle or make a major home repair. From the bank's perspective, that transaction may appear unusual. As a result, the transaction could be flagged for review, and in some situations, the account may be temporarily restricted while bank compliance teams verify the activity. During that process, the account holder may be asked to explain where the money came from, what it will be used for, and provide supporting documentation. Sometimes this can be handled over the phone, but other times it may require written verification or an in-person visit. One of the biggest misconceptions is that because the money belongs to you, you can move it however and whenever you want without questions. While that may seem reasonable, modern banking regulations don't always work that way. Transactions above certain reporting thresholds often receive additional scrutiny, and even multiple smaller transactions can raise concerns if they appear structured to avoid reporting requirements. The best protection is simple. Communicate with your bank before making a large or unusual transaction. If you know you'll be moving a significant amount of money, call your bank ahead of time. Explain what you're planning to do, why you're doing it, and ask whether any paperwork or documentation will be needed. A 5-minute conversation beforehand can save days or even weeks of frustration afterward. It's also wise to keep detailed records of major transactions, including who paid you, who you paid, the amount involved, and the purpose of the transfer. Seniors who maintain organized records typically resolve questions quickly. Those who don't often face much longer delays. Reason number 3. Suspected fraud, scams, or elder financial abuse. Banks today are under tremendous pressure to protect older adults from financial exploitation. In many cases, these protections are valuable. Financial scams targeting seniors continue to grow every year, and banks regularly stop fraudulent transactions before significant losses occur. However, the same systems designed to protect retirees can sometimes create problems for people who are doing nothing wrong. For example, a grandparent sending a large financial gift to a grandchild, making a donation to an unfamiliar organization, or purchasing an expensive item from a new vendor could trigger a fraud alert. Even something as simple as logging into your account from a different location or having an adult child assist you with online banking can cause a security system to flag unusual activity. Travel can also create issues. If you use your debit card in a different state or region without notifying the bank first, temporary restrictions may be placed on the account until the activity is verified. Many seniors assume that if a freeze occurs, a quick phone call will immediately solve the problem. Unfortunately, that's not always the case. Banks frequently require identity verification, multiple forms of documentation, and sometimes in-person visits before restrictions can be removed. For retirees with mobility limitations or those who live far from a branch office, this process can become especially frustrating. Fortunately, there are steps you can take to reduce the risk. First, build a relationship with a banker at your local branch. Having a familiar contact who understands your normal financial patterns can make resolving issues much easier. Whenever possible, inform your bank about major purchases, planned travel, significant gifts, or other unusual transactions before they occur. Second, consider adding a trusted contact to your account. Many financial institutions now allow customers to designate a trusted family member or friend whom the bank can contact if there are concerns about fraud or unusual activity. Importantly, this person does not gain access to your money or account information. The trusted contact simply gives the bank another way to confirm your safety and well-being if something appears out of the ordinary. Before we continue to the next reason banks freeze accounts, a quick reminder: if these straightforward explanations are helping you better understand and protect your retirement finances, be sure to subscribe to Retirement Watch and turn on notifications. Every week we break down complex retirement, banking, Social Security, and financial protection topics into clear, practical information designed to help you stay informed and confident. Next, we'll discuss reason number 4, court judgments, creditor actions, and account garnishments. The retirees who stay informed are often the ones who successfully protect their savings. Those who don't may find themselves learning these lessons only after a problem occurs. So if you haven't already, consider subscribing and turning on notifications so you can stay ahead of issues that could affect your retirement security. Reason number 4, court judgments and creditor garnishments. This is one of the most stressful and least understood ways a bank account can suddenly become inaccessible. If your spouse or anyone listed on your account has an outstanding court judgment, unpaid taxes, delinquent medical debt, or another legal financial obligation, a creditor may be able to obtain a court order that allows funds in your bank account to be frozen. In many cases, this happens without any direct warning from the bank. The process usually begins when a creditor wins a judgment in court. The creditor may then request a garnishment order or writ of execution, authorizing collection efforts against your assets. Once the bank receives that legal order, it is generally required to act immediately. The account may be frozen the same day the notice arrives. Unfortunately, many seniors don't discover the problem until they try to use their debit card, write a check, or make an online payment, and the transaction is declined. There are important protections under federal law. Benefits such as Social Security, Supplemental Security Income, SSI, veterans benefits, and certain other federal payments are generally protected from garnishment by most private creditors. However, there are exceptions, including federal tax debts, child support obligations, and some government-related collections. The critical issue is documentation. Those protections are strongest when protected funds can be clearly identified. If benefit payments have been mixed with other deposits over many years, proving which funds are protected can become much more complicated. The best protection is awareness and proper account management. Consider keeping federal benefit deposits in an account that clearly identifies those funds. Some financial institutions offer account structures specifically designed to simplify this process. If you know you have unresolved debts, pending lawsuits, or potential collection actions, consult an attorney before a problem develops. Understanding your rights and options ahead of time can make a significant difference. And if a creditor freeze ever occurs, seek legal advice immediately. In many situations, there are deadlines and legal remedies that may help reduce the impact, but only if action is taken quickly. Reason number 5, account inactivity and dormancy. This may be the quietest reason accounts become inaccessible, yet it surprises thousands of seniors every year. Every state has laws governing unclaimed property. Under these laws, financial institutions are required to report and eventually transfer funds from accounts that remain inactive for an extended period. Typically, an account may be considered dormant after 3 to 5 years without meaningful activity, though the exact timeline varies by state and account type. Most retirees never encounter this issue with their primary checking or savings account because they use those accounts regularly. The risk often involves forgotten accounts. Perhaps it's an old savings account opened years ago, a certificate of deposit that matured long ago, an inherited account, or a retirement account from a previous employer that has been sitting untouched. When these accounts remain inactive long enough, banks may restrict access and eventually transfer the funds to the state's unclaimed property program. The money is not permanently lost, but recovering it can take time. Seniors may need to provide identification, account records, proof of ownership, and other documentation before the funds are released. The mistake many people make is assuming that because the money belongs to them, it will remain available indefinitely. In reality, state unclaimed property laws allow governments to take temporary custody of dormant assets until the rightful owner comes forward. Fortunately, prevention is simple. Once or twice each year, review every financial account you own, including checking accounts, savings accounts, certificates of deposit, brokerage accounts, retirement plans, and any accounts inherited from family members. Make a small transaction, log in online, or otherwise demonstrate activity on accounts that might otherwise sit unused. It's also wise to maintain a current list of all financial accounts and ensure a trusted family member knows where that information can be found if needed. In just a moment, we'll discuss the 6th and final reason bank accounts are frozen. It's the most modern cause on our list, and perhaps the easiest to prevent, once you understand what to watch for. Reason number 6, identity verification problems and digital security alerts. As banking becomes increasingly digital, identity verification has become one of the fastest-growing reasons accounts are temporarily restricted or frozen. And unlike some of the other causes we've discussed, This one can affect virtually anyone, regardless of age, income, or account balance. Today, most banks rely heavily on digital security systems, online banking platforms, automated fraud detection software, and identity verification tools to protect customer accounts. While these systems help prevent fraud, they can also create unexpected problems for seniors. If something about your personal information suddenly changes, such as your address, phone number, email address, or even the way you normally access your account, the bank's security system may temporarily restrict access until your identity can be verified. And this happens far more often than many people realize. A move to a new home, a new phone number, a forgotten password, several unsuccessful login attempts, accessing your account from a new device, traveling internationally, or having an adult child help manage your online banking can all trigger a security alert. When that happens, the account may be temporarily frozen while the bank confirms that the activity is legitimate. Unfortunately, resolving these issues often requires more than a simple phone call. Many banks require customers to visit a branch in person, provide multiple forms of identification, and answer security questions that may have been created years or even decades earlier. One of the most common mistakes seniors make is failing to update their information promptly. Whenever you change your address, phone number, email address, marital status, or other important personal information, notify every financial institution where you maintain an account. It's also wise to keep a secure written record of important account information, including security questions and answers, stored in a safe location. In addition, consider designating a trusted contact or, when appropriate, establishing legal arrangements that allow a trusted family member to assist if access problems arise in the future. Your retirement account protection checklist. Now let's bring everything together with a simple checklist you can use today to help protect yourself and your family. *** 1. Organize your financial records. *** Make sure both spouses have access to a complete list of all bank accounts, retirement accounts, and financial assets. Store account information securely and keep beneficiary designations current. For appropriate accounts, consider tools such as transfer on death, TOD registrations, payable on death POD designations, or a revocable living trust with guidance from a qualified estate planning attorney. ** 2. Communicate before large transactions. ** Before making a large withdrawal, deposit, wire transfer, or unusual purchase, contact your bank in advance. Explain the transaction, ask whether documentation will be required, and maintain clear records of significant financial activity. ** 3. Build a relationship with your bank. ** Get to know a banker at your local branch. Add trusted contact information to your accounts when available, and notify your bank ahead of major travel plans, significant purchases, or any activity that differs from your normal banking routine. ** 4. Protect federal benefit deposits. ** Keep Social Security and other federally protected benefits in accounts where they can be easily identified. If you have concerns about debts, lawsuits, or collection actions, consult a qualified attorney to understand your rights and available protections. ** 5. Review all accounts regularly. ** At least once or twice each year. Review every account in your name and your spouse's name. This includes checking accounts, savings accounts, certificates of deposit, retirement accounts, brokerage accounts, and any inherited assets. Maintain activity on rarely used accounts to help prevent dormancy issues. ** 6. Keep personal information updated. ** Whenever your address, phone number, email address, or marital status changes, update your information with every financial institution immediately. Maintain secure records of passwords, account recovery methods, and security questions in a protected location. ** 7. Prepare for emergencies. ** Speak with a qualified attorney or financial professional about whether legal tools such as a durable power of attorney, trust, healthcare directive, or other planning documents may be appropriate for your situation. These safeguards exist to help families avoid confusion, delays, and financial hardship during unexpected events. The good news is that none of these steps are especially difficult or expensive. They simply require a little planning. Most account freeze situations can be prevented or resolved much more quickly when retirees take time once or twice a year to review their finances, update important information, and ensure their protections remain current. The people who prepare in advance are usually the ones who avoid financial emergencies altogether. Those who don't often find themselves learning these rules during a crisis, when options are more limited and stress is much higher. ###. Important disclaimer. This video is intended for educational and informational purposes only. It should not be considered financial, legal, tax, medical, Social Security, Medicare, or investment advice. Retirement Watch is not affiliated with any bank, financial institution, government agency, the Internal Revenue Service, the Social Security Administration, Medicare, or any regulatory organization. Banking regulations, creditor rights, account protection rules, and unclaimed property laws vary by state and may change over time. Before making any financial or legal decisions, consult your bank, a qualified attorney, financial advisor, estate planning professional, or other licensed expert who understands your specific circumstances. Final thoughts. If you've stayed with me through this entire discussion, thank you. By taking the time to learn about these issues today, you're already doing something many people never do until it's too late. You're paying attention, you're planning ahead, and you're taking practical steps to protect the savings you've spent a lifetime building. That kind of preparation is one of the most powerful financial protections any retiree can have. You are learning these rules before a crisis ever happens. And that simple habit, preparing ahead of time, is often more valuable than any financial tip or strategy you'll ever hear. It's one of the biggest differences between a retirement filled with confidence and peace of mind and one filled with unnecessary stress and uncertainty. If you found this video helpful, please subscribe to Retirement Watch and turn on the notification bell. Every week we share easy-to-understand information about Social Security, Medicare, taxes, banking, and retirement planning, all explained in plain English and delivered with the same calm, practical approach you've seen today. The retirees who stay informed are usually the ones who avoid costly mistakes and protect the people they love. Many who don't start learning about these issues until later often wish they had begun sooner. And if you think this information could help someone else, please share this video with them. Maybe it's a parent, a spouse, a brother or sister, a neighbor, a close friend, or someone in your community. Sometimes one of the most meaningful things you can do for someone you care about is share information they didn't know they needed. A simple conversation that starts today could prevent weeks of confusion, financial stress, and unnecessary hardship down the road. Before you leave, I'd love to hear from you. Which of these 6 reasons for account freezes surprised you the most? Was it the death of a spouse, large or unusual transactions, suspected fraud, scams or elder financial abuse, court judgments and creditor garnishments, account inactivity and dormancy, identity verification and digital security issues? Leave your answer in the comments below. I read every comment, and your feedback helps shape future videos by showing me which topics deserve a deeper explanation. I'm Robert Hale, and this has been Retirement Watch. Thank you for spending part of your day with me. Take care of yourself, take care of the people you love, and I'll see you in the next video.